Thank you. Cabin crew ready for manual safety demonstration.
Hello and welcome on board Finnair. Before departure, we require your full attention for a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hong Kong.
この便は日本航空26便、東京国際空港羽田行きでございます。